So I put out a tweet last night that got a lot of people fired up, and where I said that I think that both the Bills and the Ravens are currently the best teams in the AFC. A lot of people disagreed. I got a lot of L's. Some people agreed though, so I'm here to defend my take. So before we get into the meat of the video, guys, all I ask is that you smash that like button and also hit that subscribe button, as we are on the road to 10K subs, hoping to be able to get there before the season is over, but we'll see if we can do that. And also, speaking of my Twitter, why don't you go ahead and follow it? It is at NF Podcast Live. A link will be in the description box below, and also check out my Instagram and TikTok as well if you guys care to. I mean, if you want. All right, so last night after the Bills and Patriots game, I put out a tweet that, you know, it's funny because I just always find it weird that people actually take what I say seriously. Like, people actually look at my takes and say like, oh man, this guy actually has some credence. It's just wild to me because all I am is a guy. I'm just a Ravens fan. So I don't know, I just find it weird that people take what I say to heart all the time. And I'm like, who am I? Like, for people to actually take these tweets seriously, or my videos so seriously that everything I say needs to be criticized, right? But whatever, it's all good. It comes with the territory, so I'm expecting it. So the main argument that everybody was saying that, you know, basically calling me crazy, calling me insane, is that I didn't include the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, and while you're right, yes, technically they do have the best record not only in the AFC but in the NFL. They have locked up the #1 seed. They are looking like they are in a prime position to repeat for the Super Bowl, right? But what I'm trying to say with this tweet, I'm not trying to say that the Chiefs are not, you know, the best team in the AFC. What I'm trying to say is that currently, the way that these two teams are playing right now, both the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens, I think that they have been playing like the two best teams in the AFC. That means that the way that the Chiefs have been playing over the past month hasn't been as good as the Bills and the Ravens. I feel like the Bills and the Ravens have put forth more impressive performances than the Chiefs have over the last month. And I know what people are going to say, because if you're just predisposed to think I'm an idiot for this take, nothing I say is going to change your mind, so just feel free to leave your comment down below. It doesn't really matter. Nothing I'm going to say in the video is going to change your mind whatsoever, so I'm not expecting that to happen. All I'm trying to do is get the conversation started. That's really all it's about to me. All I like doing is getting a conversation started. That's really what the whole deal is. That's why I tweet out things like this. That's why I put out videos like this. But anyway, I do have some numbers. And, you know, the way I feel about you guys making me do these numbers is the same way that I feel about the education system. You guys made me do math, and I will never forgive you for it. So anyway, I wanted to go through the last 4 games of each of these 3 teams to just kind of really take a look at how each team has been performing, and of course, the quarterbacks of these 3 teams. So I think the argument that a lot of people are going to make, at least for the Ravens side, and I understand, you know, you see the flags in the background, you think I'm a biased Ravens fan. I try not to think that I'm a biased Ravens fan. If I do need to be a biased Ravens fan, I will be, to defend my team, or if I feel like they are better than a lot of people give them credit for, I will put that forth. And that's how I feel about the Baltimore Ravens right now. Because you look at the schedule, and a lot of people are saying you've had a soft schedule, right? We had to face the Dallas Cowboys in Baltimore on primetime. You had the Cleveland Browns, you had the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you had the New York Giants. You just put those names forth, and a lot of people just discount these teams and say, oh, no, you've had an easy schedule. The Ravens, they can't be considered one of the best teams in the AFC. Let's not forget, the Giants' defense is a legit defense. Everybody is discounting the Giants just because of Daniel Jones and their offense sucks, and it does, I'm not going to lie to you, but that defense is real. Let's not forget what they did to Seattle, right? And Seattle is one of the best teams in the NFC, right? So let's not forget about what the Giants did and what their defense is capable of doing. And the Ravens still ran rampant all over that Giants defense. No problem. They could have put up more points than 27. just like I said in yesterday's podcast. And the Jaguars, yes, they've only won one game, but let's not forget what they've done. They beat the Colts in week 1. I know that was week 1, but still it counts on the schedule, right? They had a close game with the Green Bay Packers, 24-20. They had a close game with the Cleveland Browns, who are fighting for their playoff spot. So the Jags don't just come into games and say, we're just going to sit down and let teams run all over us. But that's exactly what we did. And then, of course, the Cleveland Browns, we know exactly what their offense can look like when everything is firing on all cylinders, when everybody's healthy, when everybody's coming together. We put up 47 to their 42 points. That was just, an amazing game. A lot of people are saying one of the best games ever, right? Well, at least for the past decade. And then the Cowboys, I understand it's the Cowboys, but look at them. They're in prime position to make the playoffs, and I understand it's the NFC least, and they would probably only win the division at 7-9, which is looking like what might happen. But they've been heating up, man. They've been on a little bit of a roll after that Ravens loss. So that tells you that maybe they're a little bit better than you might originally think. And then the whole week schedule argument, you can really say it about both the Bills and the Chiefs if you really want to play that card, right? Let's go to the Chiefs schedule. Yes, they had to face the Saints. That's probably their toughest challenge. And also the Dolphins. 2 tough challenges, but they also had the Broncos and they had the Falcons. 2 very easy games that they should have dominated, and they did not. And same thing for the Bills, right? They had the Patriots, they had the Broncos, they had the Steelers, and the 49ers. The Steelers, I guess, is a tough team if you want to call them that. But listen, you can look at that schedule and you can pick it apart and say, look, you should have dominated the Patriots, which you did. You should have dominated the Broncos, which you did. And you should have dominated the 49ers, which you beat them by 10, right? So you can pick apart every single schedule if you want, but it's not about that. What I'm looking at is how these teams have performed against these teams. So let's just get straight down to pure numbers, all right? So I don't know if yard differential is a thing, but we're making it a thing. I know point differential is usually a thing, which we will also be involving, but yard differential, I don't know. Is it a new stat that I just created? Did Noobstradamus just invent a new stat? Probably not, but let's just get right into it, all right? So if you're looking at who has put up the most total offensive yards in these last 4 games combined, it has been the Buffalo Bills, as they have put up 1,791 total offensive yards. In second place, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have put up 1,701 total offensive yards, and then the Ravens trailing behind with 1,627 total offensive yards. And then you look at the yards allowed, and once again, the Bills take the cake in this category, as they have allowed 1,082 total yards. Then the Chiefs come up second again, as they have allowed 1,349 total yards. And then the Ravens are at the bottom here, allowing 1,417 total yards. As for the yard differential, the Bills once again take the cake here, plus 709 yard differential, with the Chiefs plus 352, and the Ravens finally with a plus 210 yard differential. So if you want to just go purely based on yards, yes, you can say that the Bills and the Chiefs have been the 2 best teams in the AFC. But is it more important to put up yards and keep opposing offenses, to a low yard total, or should you be scoring points? And should you be allowing fewer points? Well, I think that's what matters. So let's take a look at that. So when you look at who has scored the most points in these last 4 games, it's actually the Baltimore Ravens. They have scored 148 total points. In second place, you have the Buffalo Bills, who have scored 146. So just 2 fewer points, not bad. And then finally, you got the Chiefs struggling there with scoring only 104 total points. But all right, the Chiefs haven't put up a lot of points. What about the defenses, right? Well, the Bills once again take the cake in that one, as they have only allowed 67 total points, and the Ravens and the Chiefs are actually tied, as they have both allowed 86 total points. And now let's get to everybody's favorite part, which is the point differential. Who gets the W in this category? Once again, it is the Buffalo Bills, as they have a plus 79 point differential. But in second place, it is the Baltimore Ravens over the past 4 weeks, who have a plus 62 point differential. And then you look at the Chiefs' point differential, and it is not that spectacular, as they have a plus 18 point differential. But all right, maybe that's not enough to convince you. I understand, even though football is all about scoring points and not allowing the opposing team to score points, that's just the basic, explanation of football. if you want to get down to brass tacks. That's what it is, but maybe that still doesn't convince you. Okay, let's take a look at the way that the quarterbacks have performed over these past 4 games. So if you're just looking at pure offensive yards, Josh Allen once again takes the cake here with 1,399 total offensive yards, and then Patrick Mahomes would be coming in second place with 1,336 offensive yards. And as for Lamar Jackson, he is struggling behind these two quarterbacks with only 1,029 total offensive yards. But once again, is it about yardage or is it about touchdowns? I would say it's about touchdowns. Let's take a look at the touchdowns number. Josh Allen has scored 14 total touchdowns. First place for him. In second place, Lamar Jackson scoring 12 touchdowns. And of course, Patrick Mahomes in third place with only 8 touchdowns over the last 4 games. But you know, it's okay, but what about the interceptions? Like, are these quarterbacks putting their teams in bad situations by turning the football over? Well, let's take a look. Once again, Josh Allen, the best quarterback out of the bunch with only 1 interception. Lamar Jackson coming in with 2 interceptions. And Patrick Mahomes coming in with 4 interceptions over the last 4 games. So I think it's clear that if you look at these numbers, Josh Allen has been the best quarterback. And I have to defend him because you guys know that I was not a Josh Allen believer. I have never been a Josh Allen believer, but the man has been on fire lately. He's been playing well. You got to give him his props. And look at this, 14 touchdowns to 1 interception over the last 4 games. Lamar Jackson, you guys already know he's my guy. He's my quarterback. 12 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. And Patrick Mahomes, who everybody says is the best quarterback in the league, not even close, has only put up 8 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So I'm not necessarily saying that Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson are better than Patrick Mahomes. What I'm saying is that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are playing better than Patrick Mahomes over the last month. That's what I'm trying to say here. So again, if you came into this video predisposed that nothing's going to change your mind, that none of these numbers will change your mind, then you know I don't blame you. You're going to say what you're going to say in the comments down below anyway. But maybe if I change your mind, or maybe if I made some compelling arguments, you let me know as well. But yeah, I think that I just put out the take and I wanted to see if there were actually some numbers behind it that could back it up. And I think that I did find some numbers to back it up. So there you go. But all right, guys, that's pretty much going to do it. Let me know how you feel about this topic. If you agree or if you disagree, I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. And of course, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button as we are on the road to 10K subs. Like I said, follow me on Twitter for more of these blazing fire hot takes. And Instagram as well, and TikTok. I be posting on there occasionally. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.